Guys, today we're going to be looking at the German Tier 7 light tank, the SP1C. The reason I think this tank is very underrated or just not looked upon as highly as it should be is because it's got 1000 hit points, which isn't that good. The armor is non-existent, 15 on the turret and 10 on the hull. You're never ever going to get a points, ever, like not even once. Its DPM is pretty good for an autoloader, 1900. It's not that bad when you think about it. Its magazine reload time is 11 seconds. Its time in between shells is 2.5. It's got 2 shells every time you reload it all. Its average pen is 168 on the AP and 220 on the premium. So nothing insane there, but just, yeah, it's alright. The aiming time is 4.4, which isn't that good. Its dispersion is 0.365, which isn't the best either, but it's pretty good for a light tank. 10 degrees of gun depression is useful. Its top speed is 58, which is very fast, and it reverses at 22. Its average speed is about 40, which is very good. Its power to weight is 22.8, so I mean, it's nothing insane, but you're gonna get up to speed pretty fast. It is the lightest tank in Tier 7. It doesn't even weigh 10 tons. Its turret rate turn is pretty good at 44 degrees. Its hull turn rate is 53, so you can turn very fast if you put those numbers together. Its terrain crossing capacity is very good. Basically just all the stats on this tank, except for the armor, are very good in my opinion. And I just find it really fun to play. It's got 250 alpha, so every 2.5 seconds you're doing 500 damage without heat, which is very impressive in my opinion. So I have 2 quite good replays to show today. I'm going to start with the last good one, and then I'll do the better one. Now, I am playing on dead rail, and I'm not playing in any special modes. The enemy team looks pretty strong. Scorpion J is pretty nasty, and Tiger 2 is, I'm not really going to pen him from the front. But the rest of it is okay to deal with. Now, I'm just looking for a team. To start with, I just push up this hill. I usually do that in light tanks, or it's just a smarter idea. Even as a tank destroyer, if you have like a little bit of armor, half the time I wouldn't even recommend sitting up here. I mean, like in higher tiers, tank destroyers get a fair amount of good qualities for them. I am sitting on this hill as I'm just waiting in case to see if I spot anyone playing super aggressive, but no one does, so I just decide to push up after a minute. Basilisk isn't moving, but I just decided to push at a certain point. I'm just going to sitting here for a while, During this time, just feel free to vibe to the guru music. It's fine. Right, I actually didn't realize I sat still for so long. Do something, Zach. Do something. I'm waiting. Still waiting. Guys, I'm gonna cut this out of the video, right? I'm waiting. I finally decide to push, so here it is that I start driving. I start pushing up the hill, just going. I love this tank, the way this tank looks as well. I am sitting here, I'm waiting for something to get spotted, but at this point it's a 6v5, so I just end up moving in a minute. Bit of a boring battle at the start, but it heats up later, alright? And then the Skoda T27 is spotted. So I've got to be a little bit careful while I play this, because everything's going to be shooting heat at you and they'll kind of melt you. And then the T25 ad is spotted, and I see the KV3 off to my side. I'm sitting here for a minute, and then I just decide at some point to just try and get backwards and get some shells into the KV3. Now I look at him, and this is where the fairly good accuracy comes in pretty well. You can see that shell goes the first shell goes exactly where I want it to, but the second one I'm not really aiming properly. I see the KV3 still sitting in the open. So he does try to shoot at me, but he misses. So I shoot my first shell and it bounces, then I shoot my second shell and it also bounces. I didn't aim either very well, but that was quite disappointing. I'm just sitting here waiting for the KV3. I'm gonna get a shell in now, and I finish him off. Now I do have one shell, and at this point I don't know there's a reload button, so I just shoot it for the reload. I've done 288 damage so far, and I've got one kill. Not the best. Now I see the T25AT and the Skoda T27 have moved now, so now I can just start moving to try and get into position. You can see here's where the mobility is very good. For some reason my elephant is telling me to fall back, but I shoot one shell in, and then I don't get the second shell out, so I just sort of wait to see if that T27AT is going to move. So I just shoot my shell so I can get my clip reloaded. Now he's showing me his back, and for some reason I don't decide to shoot heat, so I get one shell in, and then I drive a little forwards just to get another shell, and I see him, and I don't shoot it in time. Now I see him on this cart, and I get a shell through. I get a shell. So now he's at 284 health. I see the Skoda T27. It is a 3v3 and our elephant is camping, but I just decided to get behind them to guarantee my shells. So I get one shell in this T25AT and two shells killing him. Now I see the Skoda T27, so I'm just going to sit behind him waiting for my clip to reload. I try to look at him with heat, but it's not going to pan. So I get one shell in, and then the WZ, and then I get him with my second shell. At this point I'm at 1400 damage, and the only player left is the ISU 152. So he gets spotted by the elephant in a minute, so I just come to try and farm some damage off the back of him. This guy, he could probably one-shot me, to be honest. So although he is on very low HP, I don't really want to give him an opportunity to shoot me. I don't know why I'm not shooting, by the way. I'm trying to wait for the elephant to shoot so I can finish him off, but the elephant isn't shooting, so I just shoot. I wanted to get the kill, but I didn't end up getting it. I do 1600 damage, get 3 kills, damage 4 people in the enemy team, second class. So a pretty good game. I did 922 damage, and I was third in my team, but I was bottom tier, so not bad. Now I'm going to show you the second replay now. This one isn't as good, but I still do a pretty good amount of damage. So. Yes, I hope this is the right game. Might not be, but it doesn't matter. So their enemy team is pretty strong, but I am top tier, so you can kind of bully people when you're top tier and all the loaders. It's pretty fun. So I'm just gonna push left here. I don't know, I just usually push this way. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I just always do it because usually if your heavies are smart, they should push there. Usually, half the time, no one does. So you kind of just have to fill in on that flank, or everyone's gonna lose. So yeah. That T43 thinks he can make it over that for some reason. I don't know. Teams. So I am driving up. There's someone spotted off to there, and then I see like half the enemy team spotted. I don't get a shell into the VK28 because he moved out of the way just in time. I see the Struve, but and then I notice someone's 2 tanks spotted off to my side. The IS2, he doesn't see me, so I get 2 shells into him. He does bonk me for 404, but in my eyes it was a pretty good trade because I've got another tank to help me out here. And we are the same tier, so I think he's looking at me, but then he looks away, so I drive over, I get 1 shell into him, and then 2 shells into him. A lot of players make this mistake by just ignoring a tank because it's got little armor. It's just not a very good idea. He pushed forward for some reason. Probably could have gotten a bit more damage out if he had maybe backed up and gotten behind the ridge, but it's fine. I see the Tiger P, and he's not looking at me, so I get one shell into him. Then I get a lucky bounce from him, but I get panned by the other tank. I use my repair kit to back up, so he's on very low health now. So I'm just being careful because I don't want to get hit by this guy. So I see him and I accidentally waste a shot because my 45 TP shoots first. Now I see this guy he is facing my way, but he doesn't see me. So I get one shell in, and I know he's about to get finished off. So I just decide to leave and go for this E25 that's been spotted for a while. So he's crossing now, but my first shell just goes nowhere, and then he's unspotted. I just blind shot a shell, but it doesn't pen. Now this guy's the last guy alive in the battle, so I just chase him, try and get some shells into him. For some reason, he decides to go this way, but I see him, so I get one shell in, and 2 shells in. That's where being an autoloader feels quite strong, and you can just clip people for 2 shells. Now, Sneaky Mo is dead. So, there you go, 2k game. Pretty high in my opinion, for tier 7. Not too bad. So that's why I think this tank is really good. You can just clip people easily. I got a 3rd class, which was surprising. I got 1500 XP, and I think I was top of my team. Yeah, top of my team by about 500 damage. Although I was top tier, it wasn't that top tier. So I had 2 pretty good games. This is why I think this tank is so strong. You can just pump people for 500, and at this tier, 500 is quite a bit. It's enough to get through a lot of. It's enough to get through a lot of tanks' hit points very fast.